Beautiful, beautiful people. Welcome to another late live stream again tonight. Last night we did a bit of a hangout. Tonight we're actually going to do like a main point of the stream. It's just going to be like a regular normal stream tonight, but we're still fashionably late nonetheless. It is about 10 p.m. my time. We are going to be talking about there is nothing I can do about it. You'll notice there I've got that in quotation marks. This is a what we would call an accepting reminder. This is what we would call a maybe a mantra. I'm not a huge fan of that word, but this is just something for you to consider, something for you to kind of think over and chew on for a minute. It's a good way to stop adding fuel to the fire. As we know, the objective, with anxiety, overcoming anxiety and healing the nerves is all going to come down to no longer adding fuel to the fire. It's all going to come down to allowing this shit, for lack of better words, right? That's what it feels like, allowing this shit to happen without adding to the problem through your negativity, through your worry. Dr. Claire Weeks referred to this as second fear. So this title, There Is Nothing I Can Do About It, we're going to elaborate on that. And this might be something that you want to adopt into your daily experience during recovery. This might be something that you want to take with you and remember. Who knows, during some of your harder moments, your tougher moments where you really want to start freaking out, so to speak, this little reminder might come into play. You might really enjoy it. So let's talk about it. We got Kay first in chat tonight. What's up, Kay? Welcome, welcome. Sanchez, my boy, coming in right behind her. What's up, Sanchez? Got the shark emojis for our pal Will, which is something I want to address very quickly. I'm glad you left the little sharks there. So some of you are probably like, what the hell? You totally uploaded a a gaming live stream last night. We haven't seen that in a while. I'm currently collecting opinions on that, right? I used to do gaming playlist back on the channel years ago. We used to do a lot of live streams, mostly from the PlayStation. Nowadays, it's PC. But very quickly, I am collecting opinions on that. I want to bring back the gaming playlist because I feel like it's a good way to still hang out with all my people that are, recovered and not really too concerned about anxiety. A good way to just hang out with people outside of the topic of anxiety, and a good way for me ultimately to unwind. So, collecting opinions on that. What do you think? Do we bring back the gaming playlist? Of course, we'll never stop doing the anxiety streams. We'll never stop talking about sensitization and mental health and all that good stuff. But what do you think? Gaming live streams, do they make a comeback? Are they something we should do? Let me know. Anyway, we've got Lucy in the chat. We've got Edward. We've got Jesse. What's up, Jesse? Hope you're doing great tonight. Mike. We got Mike. What's up, Mike? Hope you're doing well. All right, guys, there's really no need to wait around too long. We're going to drop a quick notification just in case my bot decided not to work. Sometimes it does that. We are live. Also, I've been trying to make it a point to do more YouTube Shorts. I don't know if you guys get notifications for those, but always check out the YouTube Shorts playlist. Good little short reminder videos in there. All right, notifications sent out. Let's go ahead and jump into this live stream, shall we? There is nothing I can do about it. So, as I said when this stream first started, this is just a good little reminder, you could say, to remind yourself of in the heat of the moment. So, we know, at least you should know by now, that the goal of recovery, the goal of healing your nerves, if you want to heal your nerves, is to stop adding fuel to the fire, right? Dr. Claire Weeks called this second fear. Second fear consists of anything that is problem solving, arguing, worrying, fighting, negativity, blah, 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 right? It's all that negative sort of stuff. Second fear covers it all. So what's a good way to stop adding second fear? I call it accepting reminders. The two main keys: shut the worry down, live your life. I call it accepting reminders, and this is a great one. There is nothing I can do about it. I need you guys to understand on a very deep level, right? I need you to consider this for a second. If you are having a sensitized day, right, and if you're like midway through your recovery or whatever, you're going to have days where you're not as sensitized, days where you're more sensitized. If you're on one of those days where you're very sensitized, right, and you guys all know exactly what I'm talking about, your thoughts, the situations that you're in, so forth and so on, they're going to seem like the end of the world, right? Show of hands, who in the chat can agree with that? On days where you're extremely sensitized, everything kind of seems like the end of the world, meaning that everything causes a ton of anxiety, right? Now, your goal, your clear objective is to not freak out, aka don't add the worry, and live your life. remind yourself, right, when you're having one of those days, one of those highly sensitized days, there is nothing I can do about it. Because this is the truth, guys. When you're extremely sensitized, or if you're just halfway through your recovery and you just happen to have a day where you're very sensitized, there really is nothing you can do about it. You can fight with those thoughts if you want, but that's not going to accomplish anything. The only reason they're causing so much anxiety is because your nerves are so freaking tired that day, right? So you can fight with them if you want, but that's just going to make the problem worse, right? You can argue with it, same thing. Worry about it, same thing. Freak out about it, same thing. But at the end of the day, if you are having a day where you feel very sensitized, there really is nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. You can only make it worse, right? That's your only option. Either do nothing about it because there's nothing you can do about it, or try to do something about it mentally, fight, worry, argue, problem solve, and just make it worse. So this reminder, there is nothing I can do about it, is excellent to apply on those days where your anxiety is just like sky high, right? So let's say you're chilling, you know you're having a sensitized day. It's a good day to retrain your brain. Take advantage of it. Don't curse it. Take advantage of it. And you get this thought, and it causes you a ton of anxiety, right? Almost near panic. It's just this rush of anxiety. You want so badly out of habit to get in your head about it. I understand that, but that's what's got you here to begin with. Instead, just remind yourself, there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do about the fact that today my nerves are tired. There's nothing I can do about it that the fact that this thought is causing me so much anxiety. My nerves are tired, right? So for so long, you've been trying to figure out, problem solve, argue, just put this, the pieces of the puzzle together, which I understand seems like the go-to thing to do when you feel so horrible. But that's what's keeping you in this cycle of stress on stress on stress on stress. You just need to simply start reminding yourself on those days where your anxiety's through the roof and you feel very sensitized, there's nothing I can do about it. There is nothing I can do about the fact that this thought is causing me a ton of anxiety. That's just what tired nerves do. There's nothing I can do about the fact that this situation's causing me a ton of anxiety. That's just what being sensitized does. There's nothing I can do about the fact that my body is reacting in a very strong way to these thoughts right now. It's doing that because it's tired. It's doing that because today I must be sensitized during my journey, right? And that's okay. Today I'm fragile, right? You could say that to yourself. Today I'm fragile. There's nothing I can do about it. Today my nerves are fragile. There's nothing I can do about it. So you see what we're getting at, because before you would probably say, oh gosh, well, let me figure that thought out. The go-to solution here seems to be, if I can figure the thoughts that are causing me so much anxiety out, then it'll be all good. That's what I need to do. And then you spend hours arguing, fighting, worried, trying to figure these thoughts out, when you should just eliminate all that by just simply reminding yourself, today my nerves are tired, they're fragile, they're sensitized, and there's nothing I can do about it, right? Now that on the surface sounds like a bad thing. Sounds like a bad thing, right? There's nothing I can do about it. Oh man, you start to freak out a little bit. No, this is a great thing. This is an amazing realization, because you no longer have to try to do anything. You no longer have to do the fighting, the worrying, the arguing. You can just remind yourself, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I should do about the fact that these things, whether they be thoughts or situations or whatever, is causing me a ton of anxiety today. There's nothing I can do about it. That's just a part of being sensitized, right? I'm just having a sensitized day, and that's case closed. At that point, that's case closed, and there's nothing you need to do. So on the surface, that might sound like a self-defeating thing to tell yourself, but it's liberating when it comes to anxiety and tired nerves, right? So think about how many times you've had a sensitized day and then a thought comes along and just shakes you right up, and you're like, oh my God, what do I do? I need to figure this thought out, and I need to do this, and I need to do that, and I need to do this, and I need to do that. Think about how many times you've done that and how far has that gotten you. Doesn't it sound a lot better, chat, right? Show of hands. Doesn't it sound a lot better to put all that to the side and just remind yourself over and over again if you need to, right? Because you might go back into that worry habit, but over and over again if you need to, just remind yourself, look, there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I need to do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. This is just part of being in a sensitized body. This is just part of having a sensitized day. Nothing I can do about it, right? Nothing I can do about it. So understand that you have to adopt this mindset of there's no more problem solving that needs to be done, because how far has that gotten you? There's no more worry that needs to be done, because how far has that gotten you? You just need to remind yourself, my body's acting this way because my nerves are tired, and there's nothing I can do about it. The more I try to do something about it, the more worked up I get, right? That's your whole problem. That's why you're in this boat to begin with. So put all of that to the side for a second. Just take all that off your shoulders and simply remind yourself on those days, in those moments, there's nothing I can do about the fact that my body has decided to react this way to this thought or to this situation or whatever. I'm sensitized, and that's just a part of being sensitized. You don't question a runny nose when you have a cold, right? You just say, oh, I got a runny nose because I've got a cold, and that's all there is to it. Right? You don't question a bit of pain in your leg if you break your leg, right? You just say, oh, that's a part of having a broken leg, and that's all there is to it, and you deal with it, right? You don't question, that spot on your arm that you accidentally touched on the stove, you burnt your hand a little bit. You don't question the fact that pain's involved with that. You say, oh, I burnt my hand on the stove, so that makes sense. And then that's the end of it. You don't. Do you get my example? Can I want confirmation from chat, because this is such an important, huge point tonight. Do you get what I'm trying to say? You don't question things that are obvious like that, do you? You break your foot and you got to get a cast put on it, and there's some pain involved. You don't question that. You just say, oh, that's a part of having a broken foot, right? You don't spill a cup of water on the floor and then the floor's a little wet in that spot. You don't question that. You just say, oh, that's what happens when you spill a cup of water on the floor. You get a wet spot on the carpet, right? You don't question these things. The problem is you're questioning everything when it comes to anxiety. You won't leave it alone long enough for your body and mind to heal. You just keep poking and adding to it, making it worse, stressing and stressing and stressing. Just like that wet spot on the carpet from the spilt glass of milk will dry up, right? Just like your leg will heal and the pain will eventually go away. Just like the burn spot on your hand will eventually heal and go away, and the pain associated with that will go away. The nerves and their overreaction and all the anxiety that you're going through will go away in time if you stop questioning it, right? You don't question these other things that happen every single day, but you're questioning the anxiety. You're trying to fight the anxiety, worry about the anxiety, problem solve the anxiety. If you would just live your life with it there, and I know it's uncomfortable, but if you would just live your life with it there, with the attitude of, oh yeah, that's just a part of being sensitized. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do that my body decided to insanely overreact to that thought. That's just part of being sensitized. There's nothing I can do about the fact that my body insanely is overreacting to this situation. That's just part of being sensitized. There's nothing I can do about the fact that my body is sending me all this anxiety over that intrusive thought. I just said that, but I'm really trying to drive my point home here. If you would start to treat the anxiety like you would treat a broken leg, hey, there's pain. That's a part of having a broken leg. Hey, there's an overreaction from my body over a thought. That's a part of being sensitized. If you would just treat it like you treat everything else in life, and you say, oh, that's just a part of it, that's supposed to happen, and then you live with it, deal with it, and move on with it, it would take care of itself, just like your leg would heal itself, just like the wet spot on the carpet will dry up, just like the burn on your hand will go away and the pain will go away. If you would just say to yourself from this day moving forward, and it will take practice, because I know how badly you're tempted to go back to the worry, but if you would just practice living by, hey, there's nothing I can do about it, right? That just comes with the territory. These symptoms and this overreaction from my body to that thought and all that just comes with the territory. Just comes with the territory. There's nothing I can do about it. If you would stop questioning the anxiety, right? Just like you don't question a runny nose when you got a cold. If you would treat it the same way, your body and mind would heal. Now, I know when I'm giving these examples, you're probably thinking to yourselves, well, it's a lot more intense than a runny nose. It's a lot more intense than even breaking your leg. I understand that, but the concept is the same. And I want you guys so badly to understand this, because the more you continue to fight this thing and worry about it and argue and every single day, blah, 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 right down the rabbit hole, the worse off you get, right? Haven't you noticed that? So I really want you to deeply consider this on a very personal level. Maybe it's time to start living by the fact that there's nothing you can do about it, right? There's nothing you can do about it. Maybe it's time to start living by that and put all this behind you. Maybe it's time to start living by that and just finally let off a little bit. Let off a little bit so that you can accept, right? Because if you're still trying to worry and figure everything out, how could you possibly accept it? So maybe to get you to the point of acceptance, you need to remind yourself that there's nothing you can do about it. Maybe that's enough to stop you from trying to do something about it, which is all the fighting, the arguing, the worry, and the problem solving. All right, you guys, so that was the point of tonight's stream. If you did enjoy it, make sure you leave a big thumbs up. I really appreciate it. That was a good one, man. I'm going to toot my own horn here for a second. If you do your best to really take in tonight's message, it'll do you a world of favors, right? So that part is up to you. Whether you internalize this and really think about that for a second and consider it or not is completely up to you, but I hope you do. I hope you do, because that was a good one. Some really solid points there. So yeah, thumbs up if you enjoyed it. We're going to get some music going and hang out with chat for a bit, see what you guys are up to. Let's see, who we got in here? We got Ghost in here. What's up, Ghost? You're right, we're under bro. We don't see that until we're on the other side, poking and poking. When will it go away? Yes. Marvin, what's up, dude? Kate, what is up, Kate? Sky, hello. Sadie, what's up? First time back in a year. Thank you, Wonder Bro. You definitely helped me on my journey to people watching. You can heal. All caps. You can heal. Give it time. I used to get nerve pain and tingling in my stomach every day. Now all gone. It's not your fault, but it's your responsibility. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for that, Sadie. Thank you. Thank you. I love it when people stop in and spread hope and positivity. Let's see. Miami Vice. This is pretty much in kind of a Miami Vice playlist. It's synthwave. What do you think? Do you like it? You like it? Style Alert. What's up, Style Alert? Let's see. Who else we got in here? Great content. I appreciate that, Sadie. Thank you so much. Can't tell the funny guy any jokes. He knows them all already. Did Wonder Bro get shark wrecked? Sanchez loves the shark emojis. We did a gaming stream last night, and there was an annoying little shark running around. Rick, thank you so much, dude. Bum, 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 bum. Thank you so much, Rick. I appreciate you. Shout out to Rick in the chat. First tip of the night. Thank you so much, dude. We're on 147. 147. That is mind-boggling. 147-day streak. Thank you so much, Rick, for the $10 tip, getting us started tonight, dude. I appreciate it. I was going to change up the post stream back to the aliens and stuff, but I love the owl and the moon. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but I love it, and I figured we'd keep it for a little bit. I figured we'd keep it just to change it up a little bit. But again, Rick, thank you so much, dude. Show him some love in the chat. I appreciate your support. I bet I got some jokes you never heard of. Sounds like a challenge. Sounds like a challenge. Can I tell you all a risky joke? Yes. Yes, you can. Go for it. What do you call a New Yorker whose car breaks down? A cab. I'm so bad at these, dude. I feel like I'm so bad. I feel like everybody gets these but me. I feel like 9 times out of 10, everybody gets these but me. Goes good with the new beats. You like it? You like it? Yeah, I started to change it back before the stream started, and then I was like, nah, let's keep it. Let's do something new. Let's keep it around for a bit. But yeah, we had a good bit of fun. And by the way, just for anybody who's new here, we've had recent subscribers coming in. For anyone who's new here, when we do this part of the stream where we're just hanging out with chat and whatnot, chit-chatting, you can still ask your questions. You can ask any anxiety question you may have. Feel free to ask. I will do my best to answer. But anyway, with that being said, we did do a gaming live stream last night, which was a lot of fun. And I mentioned this at the start of today's stream, but I want to mention it one more time. If you do enjoy the gaming stuff, please go show those videos some love. Interact with them, like them, comment on it, just so I know that that's something you guys want to continue seeing from time to time. If you don't interact with certain things, I take that as a sign that that's not what you want, right? So a lot of times when I'm planning for streams or thinking of videos and content ideas, I will go look at my most popular videos. I'll go look at what's done really well for the past week, and then I'll try to base it off that, because I'm like, okay, this is what they want to see. They like this, the way I delivered this message, or they like the way I delivered that message, and I try to base it off that, right? So if you enjoy a certain video, interact with it, comment, like, all that good stuff, so that I know what's up. A guy went to see a psychiatrist wearing nothing but cling wrap as clothing. The shrink said I can clearly see your nuts. Okay, I got it. I got that one. That was good. That was good. I'll give it to you. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. Hee hee. Hee hee. Not sorry, you shouldn't be. That was a good one. Wonder, bro, how do you deal with the fear of something? Why do you guys use big words? You know I can't read. You know I can't read. Something happening. I know which word you're going for, but I can't pronounce shit. You know that. Shame on you. When fully letting go. Catastrophic. There we go. It just takes me a second. Sometimes the gears go a little slow. All right. You would think for someone who could speak as well as I do in streams that I could read. Abraham, dude, thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. Abraham, anxiety doesn't stand a chance with Wonder Bro on the job. Bring it on, Wonder Bro. Appreciate you, dude. That takes us to 1,547-day streak. Show Abraham and Rick some love in the chat. Let me see. Let me finish reading this comment here. I sit with my panic, but not gonna lie, it does scare me at times. So it sounds like you're already doing everything correctly, unless you're adding a ton of worry, and only you can answer that question. Are you adding a ton of worry? So if you get a thought that's like catastrophic, and it's like, oh, this is going to happen, or this is going to happen, and that causes you a lot of anxiety, do you just do A and say to yourself, like the point of tonight's stream, well, there's nothing I can do about my body's reaction, like this is just part of being sensitized, and then move on with your life? Do you do something similar to that? Or do you go the B route and say, oh God, what if that does happen, you know, tack on all the worry? Do you do A or B, right? Nobody can answer that but you. Hopefully you're going with A. Hopefully you're going with A, right? Thank you again, Lincoln, for the $5 tip, dude. I appreciate you. Farmer comes home drunk with a sheep in his arm. Interesting. Farmer's wife wakes up. The farmer says, this is the pig I've been making out with. The wife goes, you idiot. That's not a pig. That's a sheep. The farmer yells, shut up, I was talking to the sheep. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Oh wow. He's in the doghouse big time. Big time. Can I tell another risky one? Dude, have at it. Have at it. Just let loose at this point, Sky. All right. While everybody is trying to get their best jokes out, I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity to share out some links to the chat real quickly. There you go. Link number 1. Anybody wants to join us over there, feel free to do so. And I got one more for you. Let's see if I can find it. I always struggle with this one a little bit. Just a little bit. Alright, link number 2. For anybody who wants to check out the wish list, there you go. Totally optional, but there you go. How you doing tonight, Ghosty boy? Hope you're doing fantastic. Sky got jokes, good shit. Sky always got jokes. Are you actually walking over there, or is that a New Yorker joke? Alright guys, give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back to the stream. 2 seconds. Enjoy the BRB music that I know you all love. All right, we're back. We still telling jokes in here? Is that what we're doing? Several jokes. Oh, let's see. Scroll up a bit. We're gonna have to scroll up here. Guy goes hunting and bags himself a deer, as his kids have never had deer meat. Guy comes home, cooks deer. Later on, everyone is tucking into the meat, and the kids say, "This is delicious, Dad. What is it?" Dad says, "Have a guess." Kids look at each other and say, "We don't know." Dad says, "I'll give you a hint. It's what Mommy calls me." Daughter pipes up and says, "Stop eating. It's an asshole." Okay. Alright. That was a solid 8, at least. That was a pretty good one. Pretty good one. Guy walks into a bank and yells at the clerk, "I want to open a fucking bank account." Clerk says, "Watch your language or I'll get the manager." The guy says, "Get the manager. I want to open a fucking bank account." Manager comes in and says, "What seems to be the trouble, sir?" Oh, okay, we're not done yet. I'm assuming that one's not done yet. I should have waited. I feel like I killed it. Guy says, "The trouble is, I want to open a fucking bank account for 800,000. I should probably wait until he's got it all out. I'm gonna kill the joke if I don't. We gotta be patient. We gotta be patient on this one. Oh shit, soccer mom! That caught me off guard a little bit. Soccer mom! The $10 tip, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. What does that put us at? 25? Yes, 25. 147-day streak, guys. Hi, Wonder Row. I tested positive for COVID yesterday. I hate to hear that. 101.5 fever, chills, really bad headache, and body ache. Elevated heart rate, coughs, phlegm. Interesting thing is, since I have something real to deal with right now, my anxiety is pretty minimum. So there you go. I've had that comment so many times in the past. People come in and say, "Dude, I had something real happen to me, like something actually bad happened to me, or something, some sort of illness," is a really popular one. I've had some sort of illness happen to me, right? And then they're like, I don't understand, my anxiety's like at a low. And you got to realize that that's happening because you got something real to deal with, as you said. So your attention is somewhere else. You're not adding worry. You're not fighting, arguing with things. You're not fighting and arguing about certain thoughts or whatever. You're too focused on dealing with something that's real. Now, that's not to say that you can't go and worry about the real thing, because technically you can. But the point here is that you're so focused on dealing with something in the real world that you're not spending as much time as you normally would fighting or arguing or problem solving or worry about anxiety and all this other crap. So you're, I guess you could say, distracted. So we just need to learn this skill even when you don't have something quote unquote real to deal with, right? You just need to learn the skill of understanding, like the title of tonight's stream, there's nothing you can do about it. So on the days where you're highly sensitized, treat it like you're treating it right now as you're dealing with COVID. Right now, you're not very concerned about it because you're dealing with something else. So treat it the same way on the days that you're very sensitized and you don't have COVID. Just be like, you know what, it's there and there's nothing I can do about it, and continue living your life. Don't give it as much power. Don't do the fighting, the arguing, the worrying, all that bad habits that you've got going on, right? But yeah, that is not uncommon. I've had so many people come in and tell me the same thing. I'm going to read your joke from the beginning, because I feel like I messed it up by reading it in parts. Guy walks into a bank and yells at the clerk, "I want to open a fucking bank account." Clerk says, "Watch your language or I'll get the manager." The guy says, "Get the manager. I want to open a fucking bank account." Manager comes in and says, "What seems to be the trouble, sir?" Guy says, "The trouble is, I want to open a fucking bank account for 800,000. The manager says, "Oh, And is this fuck giving you a hard time? Did that one go over my head? That one may have went over my head a little bit. Is it because he's opening a bank account for like almost $1 million, so the manager is just taking his side? Is that the joke? I feel like that's the joke. I feel like maybe it's not the joke. It's got to be the joke, right? See, sometimes, like I said, sometimes these just go over my head. They just go, maybe I'm stupid. Maybe that's the problem. What's up, Charles? Hey, Wonder Bro, do you still sometimes have some struggle with sensitized nerves, or you can say that you're really overcome sensitized nerves? So a lot of people look at sensitized nerves almost like cancer. Like you get cancer, and if you can get the cancer removed, you're like good to go. Like you know what I mean? Sensitized nerves is something that can happen to anyone at any time. I am somebody who could have sensitized nerves if I allowed myself to get to that point in a month, right? In a month. Sensitized nerves is not like having some sort of cancer where you battle through it and you fight through it, and maybe you get the cancer removed and then you might be good to go, and you cross your fingers and you hope that you are good to go and you hope that it doesn't come back. You don't treat it the same way. It's not like that. Sensitized nerves is something that can happen to anyone at any time. I have not been sensitized since I uploaded my first video almost 6 years ago on the channel, right? But that does not mean that if I allowed myself to go back to bad habits and truly fried my nerves again, that I couldn't have some days where I'm sensitized, right? It doesn't have to turn into months on end, but there could be days where you're more sensitized. Now, you can enter into life situations, right? I recently experienced some great loss in my family, and that was tough. You could say that my nerves were not happy because of all the things that I was going through in the real world. Doesn't mean I entered into full-blown sensitization where I'm, back in my past, months and months and months, but it does mean that maybe I had some days there where my nerves were a little on edge. Have you ever heard that before? Somebody says, man, my nerves are just on edge today, right? So sensitization is not something like only a few select people unfortunately get blessed, well, not blessed, but cursed with this, like cancer, and these poor people, they got diagnosed with this cancer, and we got to hope that they can overcome it and get it removed and hope it doesn't come back. And it's not like that, right? You've heard plenty of people say, my nerves are just on edge today. Well, they've got slightly sensitized nerves that day. The only difference is a lot of people that end up on my channel have fried their nerves to the point that it becomes very, very, very exhausting, fearful, and just a pretty bad experience because their nerves are fried to that degree. So I'm really glad you asked this question. I feel like this is a question a lot of people have. So to answer it, as neatly as possible, I absolutely can have days where I could say, man, my nerves are on edge today, right? And that's just a part of being human. But do I have bouts of sensitization where I'm like months on it? No, right? No. You have to have a lot of bad worry habit to get to that point, right? But as a human being, you're probably going to experience days where you could honestly say, hey, dude, my nerves are on edge today. There was some recent events happen just on the channel where my nerves were just on edge that day, right? Sensitized, full-blown sensitized for months on end? No. But a day where your nerves are just on edge, it's called being human, right? Of course, now I am worried that once I recover, my anxiety will come back stronger than ever. You got to shut it down, right? There's no sense in it. There's no sense in exploring that, because what are you going to get out of that? You have to remind yourself, it's not worth it. It's not worth it, right? That is the problem. So don't partake in the problem and then worry about what's going to happen because you've partaked in the problem. Just don't partake in the problem to begin with. Just don't partake in the problem to begin with, right? So you can see, you can see how regardless there's some sort of worry going on, some sort of worry going on. You got to remind yourself there's nothing you can do about it, right? If the nerves decide they want to act up one day, there's nothing you can do about it. Drop the fight, drop the argument, drop the debate. There's nothing you can do about it. Quit trying to do something about it. It's all the trying to do something about it in the form of arguing, fighting, worrying, blah, 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 that you just keep yourself stressed. So, that was really the point of tonight's stream. There's nothing I can do about it. Nothing I can do about it. And that, you need to rinse and repeat that sort of attitude and just close it. Close it off. Close the book right there. Put a period on it right there. Also, is it absolutely necessary to do the healthy things that other people preach, like working out, eating healthy, taking vitamins? Dude, I am like 60 pounds overweight. The most working out I've done in years is probably the garden and mowing the lawn. You probably couldn't pay me enough money to take vitamins just because they taste gross. And eating healthy, I live out of the microwave and I drink an enormous amount of Mountain Dew and eat Hot Pockets for just about every meal. So does any of that necessarily have to happen in order for you to recover? Absolutely not. Is it a good bonus? Yes, of course. Is it good like icing on the cake? Yes, of course. Right? But is any of that a necessity to recover? No. You got to get rid of the worry. You got to work on the worry habit, aka the second fear habit, right? You got to let these symptoms unfold and let these thoughts unfold without getting, so worked up about them, aka freaking out, aka second fear, right? Aka worry. You do have to work on that. That is crucial. But taking a multivitamin, working out, eating healthy, all that stuff might be a nice little bonus, but necessary to heal? No. In fact, I can say that I've met several people here on the channel that have told me, hey, I work out every day and I go for a jog every morning and I eat healthy and I take this vitamin, but I'm just so stressed. My nerves are so tired. See, I mean, it made no difference. They're still in that state despite doing all of those things. And it's because they keep their body in that state. You can physically make the right choices with what you put in your body. But if you continue to stress the body out using your mind with worry, right, second fear, then your body being in physically good shape really doesn't do a whole lot as far as that's concerned, right? All right, so those are two good questions, and I appreciate those questions. Thank you. I enjoy any questions that give me a chance to go off on a little bit of a rant. And understand also, I noticed you tacked on the word meditating there. Understand that the word meditating and words like mindfulness and so forth and so on, when we say shut the worry down, right, you can call that meditate, you can call that mindfulness. It's all the same thing. Acceptance, mindfulness, meditating. It's all the act of no longer, adding the worry, taking responsibility for your own thought processes, right, your own conscious thought process and how you choose to view these things. I don't use the labels because people tend to overthink them, and then we're just defeating the purpose before we even get started. So understand when I say shut the worry down and just, like tonight's stream, for example, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm just going to let it unfold. This is, some people might consider that mindfulness or whatever, but I don't get into those labels because, like I said, they tend to just lead to people overthinking it before we even get started, right? Before we even get started. So it just defeats the purpose entirely. Yeah, I hope my spill on the first question made sense, because I feel like that's important. People must get to the point where they stop looking at sensitization as like some sort of, like I said, like a cancer diagnosis where you're cursed with this diagnosis and you just gotta hope that you can make it through it, and then you do, and then you hope it doesn't return, and you gotta stop looking at it like something that horrible, that bad. You can get to a point where you overcome being extremely sensitized and your nerves are in really good shape, but you're still human. You might have some days where your nerves are a little on edge. Doesn't mean you're full-blown sensitized again. You know, that's in the past. You've got all these skills now, but you know, you've probably been around your friends or something at one point and they say, dude, my nerves are just on edge today. That's just called being human. But full-blown sensitization, yeah, that's something you can overcome. But that doesn't mean you won't have a day or two in your life where you can say, dude, I'm just on edge today, right? That's just human being. So I hope that makes sense. What's up, Sky? We missed you. How you doing, dude? Great questions overall, though, Charles. I appreciate it. Got way more jokes. Some I'm not sure I can tell you. I'll tell you what. Whatever jokes you drop in the comments, I'll read them in my head first, and then everybody else can feel free to read them too. But if I don't find them appropriate, which we got some blurry lines on what's appropriate here. I mean, I curse and go on, so I don't know. If they're too much, I won't read them out loud, but you might hear me chuckle. Let's just do it that way. That sounds like an okay way to do it. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot that I've got a Philly cheesesteak in the freezer, man. I'm excited. Okay, I'm going to read this in my head first. Lady goes to see her cardiologist because of persistent chest pain. Doc gives the lady a pretty good examination and says, oh, you have acute... Jesus Christ. Acute angina. The lady says, thanks for noticing, but how's my heart? Alright, we're done. That's it. Shut it down. That was actually a really good one. I wish I didn't have the memory of a goldfish. I wish I could retain some of these. That's the sad part. Sky tells me so many good jokes and I can't remember them. I have to start writing them down. I need a little notepad, one of those little, handheld little notepads. Start writing these down. Because they are pretty good. They are pretty good. I don't genuinely laugh at many jokes, but these are pretty good. Kate, did you like that joke? I'm honestly not sure who's still around. Kate probably, maybe is still here. I'm not sure. Roll call, roll call. There's still quite a few people in here. Who's here? Speak now, speak up. Just you and me, Wonderbrook. Just you and me, okay. Alright, just you and me. Just me and Sky kicking it at 11 p.m. Now we still got quite a few people here. What's up, Sarah? What's up, Rick? What's up, Lucy? How you guys doing? What'd you guys get into today? Wonderbro and Sky ruling this shizzle. A lot of people, I noticed that a lot of people, you know, tend to treat the streams like, at least at this point, kind of like a podcast that you just like leave on in the background and, you know, while you're doing other things, right? When we get to this point in the stream, that's probably what it's best for. Treat it like that. I understand completely. I thought about doing a part 2 to the gaming thing tonight with Raft. I played a little bit off stream, progressed a little bit, and I thought about doing it again tonight, but I'm not sure. I don't want to wear it out. I don't want to do that too often if we do decide to bring the gaming side of things back. I don't want to run it in the ground, so what's up, Style Alert? You still here, Charles? You still here? Did my answers to your questions make sense to you? Is there anything you want me to elaborate on? Feel free to ask. I can see you doing it just on the weekends for sure. I mean, that's not a bad idea, really. I feel like that would be a good balance. It wouldn't wear it out too quick. Have my AirPods on, having dinner with fam, talking and listening. Got you. Enjoy it. Eat up. I wanna be clear that I was not trying to discourage you, Charles, on being healthier. Like, if you want to have a healthier diet or work on a healthier diet or exercise or do all these great things, I want you to understand that I back that 100%, and I would be proud of you for it. Like, that's great. But I also want you to understand that these things are not something that's necessarily going to take your tired nerves away. You need to be putting in the work, you know, for shutting the worry down, the second fear, right? That's what we call that. So you need to be putting in that work. It's going to have the biggest impact on your nerves. Worry to the brain is like a real tiger. It is a real tiger. So it doesn't know any better. It doesn't know any different. So you gotta work on the attitude. You gotta work on the mental attitude. Shut the worry down. You know, find that accepting inner voice and really work on shutting that worry down if you want to make the most progress that you possibly can. All these other things are just nice little bonuses, right? And just because I'm fat and have a terrible diet and drink way too much soda and eat out of the microwave doesn't mean you guys have to do that. If you want to be healthy, go for it. I'm not exactly the poster child for good physical health over here, so, you know. I'm trying to work on it. I'm trying to cut down on the soda at least. Drink a little bit more water. I've been doing that recently, so we're doing a few little things, right? Nothing to brag about, but we're trying to do a few little things. Imagine the absolute stress relief that you would experience over a period of time if you really started dedicating to the attitude of, dude, there's nothing I can do about this, right? Like, you've been working yourself up for so long, for so many years, trying to do something about these freaking symptoms and thoughts and all this other stuff. What if you really just adopted the accepting attitude and kept with it and practiced it? There's nothing I can do about it. So like your body starts to heavily overreact to a thought, and you're just like, well, there's nothing I can do about it. It's part of being sensitized. Your body starts to heavily overreact for no reason. There's nothing I can do about it. It's part of being sensitized. Your body starts to heavily overreact to a situation. Oh, there's nothing I can do about it. It's just part of tired nerves. Imagine the stress relief that you would bring your body and mind if that was your go-to attitude. And of course, that's just one accepting example, right? But imagine if that was your attitude instead of, oh my God, figure it out, fight with it, argue with it, worry about it, figure it out, fight with it, worry about it, figure it out, fight with it, worry about it. Imagine the absolute stress relief your body and mind would start to experience, dude, if you really just dedicated to the attitude of, oh, it is what it is, there's nothing I can really do about it, right? Because that's the truth. That's the truth, man. There's nothing you can technically do about having tired nerves. There's nothing you can technically do about it. The more you try to do something about it, the worse off you become, and that's why you're here on my channel now. You didn't know that, so I'm not holding it against you. I didn't know that for the longest time, but I'm, just making my point here. What if you told yourself there's nothing you could do about it, Styler? What if you started to treat anxiety like you do a cold, and you tell yourself, well, there's nothing I can do about a runny nose because I've got a cold, so that's to be expected. There's nothing I can do about these intense symptoms because my nerves are tired, so that's to be expected. What if you just started to live that with that attitude? What if you really started to practice that attitude? You'd be gold. You'd be golden. Like, you'd be unstoppable in a very short amount of time. Of course, we can't give time frames, but in probably a very short amount of time, shorter than you think, you would just be unstoppable as far as anxiety is concerned. But that's an attitude you got to practice. When I say there's nothing you can do about it, it's the truth. The reason you're here is a paradox. You've been trying to do something about it, and now you're here to learn how to not try to do stuff about it. So, yeah, you start to practice that attitude of there's nothing I can do about it. Man, it's sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. Speaking of sky, where the hell did you go? Where are you? Are you still in here? Are you still in here, Sky? Stud Muffin, Sky Daddy, where you at? Oh yeah, whoever told you it was an absolute must that you change your diet and have a regular exercise routine and all this good stuff to overcome anxiety, they not only are misleading you with that, but they've completely missed the mark. If they didn't include shutting second fear down, aka worry, if they didn't include that, but they told you all that other stuff that's a must, not only are they misleading you, but they completely miss the mark because they're not telling you the one thing that you do need to do in order to overcome sensitized nerves, which is to work on that worry, which is going to come down to that accepting attitude and that new perspective, all that good stuff, and living your life, right? That is the two main keys right there. That is the two main keys right there. Yeah, I know it's easier said than done, Style Alert, but that's because it's a habit. Worry is a habit. Second fear is a habit, right? All these negative perspectives are a habit, but that's why I said, when I was trying to make that point, that's why I said practice the attitude of there's nothing I can do about it. I didn't say just pick it up and run with it, right? Because I understand completely that's not how that works, but practice the attitude of it. Practice the attitude of it. Anytime I give examples like the one in the title, I always say practice this example. I don't say take this example and just start using it, because I understand it's a practice. You're going to have worry sneak in from time to time. You're going to go back to your old ways probably from time to time. That's why I always say practice this new attitude. Hey, great stream. Thank you, Raven. Appreciate you. Thank you. Hey, take it easy, Sky. Thank you for stopping by, dude. Appreciate you. This kind of reminds me of this gives me some Stranger Things vibes with this music here. You read us a bedtime story. A bedtime story? I don't know any good bedtime stories. I don't know any good. I used to know, what is it? Jack and the Beanstalk. That used to be my favorite. Music is relaxing. It was, and now it just really kicked in. Let's go back. Lucy, Jesus. That's spooked me. Lucy, with the $25 tip. Thank you so much. I feel like you did that last time too, as soon as I went to change the music. The timing. Thank you. Thank you so much, Lucy, for the $25 tip. I appreciate you. We are moving on to 148. We're 2 days away from 150, $1.50 on the streak. Guys, thank you so much for that. I know we're at that point in the stream where chat's already fallen asleep on us here, but for anyone who's still in the chat, please give a special shout out to Lucy. Thank you so much, Lucy. Thank you so much. Who else was it? Lincoln and Rick and Soccer Mom. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I appreciate you. Another solid stream in the books. Don't forget about the shorts, because I'm trying to do more YouTube shorts. For those of you who have been here on the channel for a while, it's already well established, right? You know what the streams are about, you know how they work, you know how they operate, so it's no big deal for you. But for somebody who's new to the channel, it might be a little intimidating, right, to click on an hour-long stream, and I understand that. So in order to get new folks in to really get this advice that they might need, I have been really working on YouTube Shorts. They're quick, they're under 60 seconds. If I'm sensitized, I'm more than likely going to click on a YouTube Short that's 60 seconds long than I am sit through an hour stream, right? Especially when I don't know that the point of the stream lasts about 15 minutes and the rest is hanging out. If I don't know any of that, I'm probably going to skip the hour-long stream, right? So I have been heavily working on ideas for YouTube Shorts to try to get some new folks over, right? And then we can get them into the stream. So you see what I'm doing there. So in order to really boost those short videos up, I need you guys to interact with them. If you will, I would be very appreciative of that. Go toss the shorts some likes, go comment, show them some love, even if they're not something that, you know, even if it's advice that you already know as a veteran here, just go toss a thumbs up emoji or something, right? Let's try to get some new coming in, saving the streak just in time. We are past that hour mark. Thank you so much again, Lucy and Rick, Lincoln, and Soccer Mom. I appreciate you guys so much, and everyone else who's ever, you know, supported. I appreciate you guys. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. Another great stream. I hope you all have a fantastic day and night. And when you get in your head worrying about the way you feel, remind yourself there's nothing you can do about it. So don't try, right? Drop the fight. It's liberating. It's very, very liberating. I love you guys, and I'm sure I'll see